Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video about my recent downswing since it's a topic that is in my Twitch chat every day and asked about, I don't know, 30 to 50 times a day and has been like that for the last 3 or 4 months. So yeah, this is going to be a video just explaining the games I played, the ABI, how many games I played across which sites, just to be a little bit more informative for my Twitch chat so I can link them a video and also update my YouTube audience. Okay, so the downswing is currently at 114,500, give or take a few dollars. The reason it's only showing 61,000 across my player group over the last 4 months is because ACR wasn't tracking results for the last 4 months. In fact, if you check out ACR since July, all in PAV, it only just started tracking my results as of a week ago. Yeah, 18th of October, so 3,600. So that is a part of my player group here, but it's not tracking the other 51,000. But yeah, if you look across my lifetime player group, it's missing a 50k swing. I hope they fix it up because I like displaying all of it. You can see it starting around here. Alright guys, to help me explain variance, I got a math wizard known as Christaborg on Twitch on the Skype call today. We're going to go through the tournament variance calculator and he's going to help direct me and inform me on a few things and hopefully better explain to you guys and how it all works.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm hoping to give you guys a little definition of what variance is, what deviations are, and to kind of help you understand how unlikely it is for a downswing of this size to be happening and what we're witnessing. So with these numbers, what we can do is we can make a weighted average. Okay, so in a random sample of 10 tournaments, how many of each of these do you play? Would you say you play 2 500s, 2 200s, and 6 109 and below?
In a random sample of 10 tournaments,
Yeah.
I would say it's like 1 530, 6 109s, and 3 215s.
This is your ROI, an ROI breakdown of 10 random games for you. The 16% in 115, 3 23.3s, and 6 12.2s. So you take the average of that, and that will be your weighted average of ROI.
Yeah, because like, would you say we already have an okay enough sample of the 530s to get a weighted ROI?
I think we do. And like, if I were to change your numbers and say, okay, let's say your ROI is not 16%, let's call it 5%. Like, let's say it's way lower. Your total ROI only drops 1%. I've just made the change.
Wow.
Even if I say, okay, you're break even in the games, your total ROI is still 14.5%.
Yep.
We need it to make it so that average buy-in plus rake is 177. So 161 and 16.1.
Okay guys, so the sharp scope included the rake, so we had to take that out of it so we could add the rake into the fee in the tournament variance calculator, which is why it says 161 for the buy-in and 16.1 for the fee. And the ROI is going to be 15 point... how much, Chris? No?
15.9.
Okay. And how many are we going to play?
This is the size of your downswing. You want to think about how many games you've played since you started losing. Basically, since you got back from Vegas, what's your volume been like?
I think we should do 5.5 days, because I do 6 days every second week, I think.
So your calculation is going to be 22.5 times 5.5. How many weeks between Vegas and now? If it's 3.5 months, we're looking at about 14 weeks. Somewhere in the neighborhood of this many games played. So about these stats, a couple of things before we get too far into the nitty-gritty details. I want to talk about the fact that the probability of loss here over his sample size is 14%. You might think that's kind of large. The fact is, though, like it's not terribly rare to go with a break-even stretch, basically, of being, oh, I'm down 10K over 3 months, or oh, I'm down 5K. Most of these losses are down small amounts. And so the probability of loss being 14% is not that unusual. One deviation, it's hard to explain the math behind a deviation, but essentially take your average net profit and you combine every possible result with it, and then you sum up all of those results. It's a very complicated procedure that like only Excel sheets can do, basically. Take a very long time to do by hand. Essentially, think of a deviation as a regression from the mean, a difference between that and the average. So the confidence intervals that you see below, you have a 70% confidence interval, a 95% confidence interval, and a 99.7%. Those mean that 70% of the time, Pav is going to have his profit be one deviation away from his EV. So think one deviation below and one deviation above. That's why his range is anywhere from plus 2,300 to plus 95,000. 95% of the time is called the second deviation level, the second deviation interval. And think of his average. He's going to be between 2 deviations below and 2 deviations above. And the 99.7 confidence interval is when it's 3 deviations below to 3 deviations above. That's why there's such a big difference between negative $74,000 and plus 191,000. This is the difference between one of the downswings of your life and, oh, hey, I banked the millie. Pav's results here, which you can see, are even below. What is your actual downswing size as of this?
It's 114,500.
Welcome to poker, folks. Pav's deviation here is approximately 4 deviations below his average net profit. In statistics, we like to say that nothing is ever like for sure, but anything below 3.5 deviations is said to statistically basically never happen, and anything above 3.5 deviations is statistically always supposed to happen. So these results that Pav has, where he's 4 deviations below his EV, or his average net profit, we're going to calculate it, but it's not pretty. So the 4 standard deviation below your average net profit, I had to Google it because I don't actually have that information offhand. You could argue that they're in the bottom 0.005% because every time there's a minus 4 deviations, there's also a plus 4 deviations. This is the same. He has the same chance of being down more than $74,000 as he has of being up more than $191,000. So we can take this 3.5 month stretch and we can apply it to future of his poker game, and we can see just how often this size of downswing should happen. So we can see if this is a once every decade downswing, or a once every 30 years downswing, or a once a lifetime downswing.
I look forward to this.
So we've determined that Pav's results have fallen outside the top 99.7% of possible results. So he's in the bottom 0.3%. So to figure out how often this kind of downswing can happen, we take the time frame this took place in, which is 3.5 months, and we times it by the likelihood that it is to happen. If we're in the bottom 0.3%, we're talking about 3 in 1,000. So you would take 3.5 times 3 divided by 1,000. You want to put that 3 divided by 1,000 in brackets. Divide it by 0.03% chance, which is 3 in 1,000. And you get a result of 1,166.66 repeating. This is how many months it would take on average to see this kind of downswing. So we divide that number by 12, and this type of downswing to be in the bottom 0.3% over the course of 3.5 months is a downswing that happens approximately once every 97 years, given ROI and etc. is stable.
Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that rundown with Chris. I'm going to say goodbye to him now, and I'll do a quick closeout with this video. So Chris, thanks for everything, mate. Appreciate it so much.
Yeah, no problem, man. Take care.
Laters, mate. Now guys, I want to make this clear as I close out the video. This is not me playing the victim. This is just more so an informative video for people at home who are curious about my downswing. This is providing all the numbers that I put in are correct. My average field size, ROI, buy-in, providing that is all correct. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to grinding out of this downswing. I'm very confident I will. I have supreme trust in the work I put in my game in the last 6 months, let alone 3 months. I always work harder during a downswing, bad habit. I should work harder in an upswing, but I don't know, I like to enjoy the moment. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. Thumbs up if you like this video at all. I'll see you next time.